Friday and welcome to my video, folks. It's time to paint some wild mushrooms and I'm taking acrylics with it. These are pretty much the same colors that I used for the art journal this week. I'm just adding a bit of titanium white in the end, and that's that. So I just wanted to show you can do different things with the same kind of colors and have, well, kind of maybe a slightly different feel to the whole painting just by how you mix the colors. So this time around I want to paint some wild mushrooms. Well, because it's the season and well, it's getting fall and mushrooms always feel very autumny to me, besides other things that I use in the kitchen. So I wanted to paint some and I didn't want to go with like the, I don't know, the ones you can buy in the supermarket, but be a bit more in my memory there when I did, well, roam through the forests and gathered the wild mushrooms. So I'm painting these kinds of mushrooms and I'm mixing a lot of either the yellow or the yellow ochre with the turquoise, which makes a very almost olivey kind of a green. So for the underside of the mushroom on the left hand side, this is just yellow ochre and the turquoise. And for shading I did take the Prussian blue pretty much pure, or with a teeny tiny bit of the turquoise in there. Since I don't clean my brush in between the parts that I paint here, I do cross-pollinate, so to say, and create a kind of harmonic just because I have the same pigment in my brush already, so I take it somewhere else. For the moss, I did well, have the Prussian blue, the turquoise, and a teeny rest of the yellow ochre. So I just added yellow, the cat yellow, for the lighter parts, and then you have shadow and light there already. This is so easy to do just by dabbing it onto either the canvas or the acrylic paper. That's so easy to do. Now, when the feeling that I want to have with the whole painting is it's so pristine, it's so lovely and beautiful, and it's almost not real. So I decided to have the upper part of the painting really look like a completed painting, almost like an oil painting kind of a look. So I did rub the quite watered down acrylics into the paper, and I'm going forward like that with blue, a bit of green, and then come back with the yellow ochre. And I'm always mixing it with titanium white this time around instead of mixing white, because I don't want to have a lot of that pigment. I want to have a lot of subtle parts of blue, green, and yellow ochre. So I need the titanium white to quote-unquote dulling all of the colors, all of the pigments there. I don't want them to be too heavy, which they would be with a mixing white there. So I'm going over the whole sky, dabbing it with a very big brush and being very light and subtle and almost making it look like I'm rubbing the paint into the paper rather than painting. And that makes for a very smooth, almost marbled kind of a background, which reminds me of the old Renaissance paintings that you know, those grandiose paintings from back in the day that you can now see in any kind of a museum around Europe. I wanted to have the same style and then have the very heavy cut to the lower part of the paper there, where it's like, oh, this is a painting, this is unfinished almost, with that very heavy white border there where the moss is almost hanging over, you know. So this kind of a surrealism, this is what I wanted to create, and I found that particularly interesting with the nature theme of mushrooms there that are in kind of like a foggy autumn morning. So this is my painting for this week. You can read up more of the behind the stories, all the close-up photos, material lists, and lots of information of all the paintings that I published this week on my channel. So hop on over, the link is in the description box below. Have a wonderful weekend and thank you very much for watching. I will see you. Bye bye.